All right, I'm back on Ben's Camaro here. I got it pretty much pulled apart, so I figured I'd show you guys kind of what I'm planning on doing. Um, yeah, I'll show you guys the plan, and then I'll set up the camera and just let the camera run while I do a little bit of work, and then we'll go from there. So I'll spin you around here. So the Camaro came in mostly to get the tail pan fixed up. She's a little cheesed up and was popping. There's quite a bit of rust under there. Yeah, so anyways, I came in for the tail pan. I convinced him that, well, we got the tail pan off, we should replace the trunk pan too. Originally, I was just going to do a little centerpiece and then some drop downs over there. But the more I think about it, the more I just want to try and squeeze a full pan all the way into the next pinch weld there, because that way if they ever decide to do floors or any more work, this back part's all done and done properly, and they can just continue on from there. And if I end up doing the work, it'll make my life easier too. So that way we're not undoing any work that we've already done. It's a little bit more money up front now, but if you end up doing more down the road, it'll save you some money. So that's kind of the plan. Yeah, so what I'm thinking is, I guess we'll start here. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna cut the tail pan out, do a nice saw cut along here, and I'm gonna leave the lower part for now. Cut it all the way across there, get this opened up, and then I'm gonna cut out the center of the trunk right along the frame rails. That's the frame rail, so it's got bolts coming through for some reason. Probably just squeeze it in, or maybe they put plates in there. They thought they were stiffening it up or something. But yeah, so I'm going to cut out the center and then cut off all those bolts and cut out the other side there, and then kind of just chisel my way back to the try and get it back as far as I can. I'm gonna pull the back seat out too. I might have to, that package tray drop down piece, I'll probably have to split it off the pinch weld too. I think they all go to the same seam. So yeah, that's the plan, and we'll go from there. Cool. All right, start pulling this apart and cutting into it, and it's most of the part, just a couple last pieces to get out. The emblem. Taillight wiring harness away from where the saw blade will be. I like putting this stuff all back together, and that way I don't have to guess where it went later. Okay. So I like these little air saws. I've used a few of them before. This one here is a Snap-on one, so it's stupid expensive. But the nice part is it pushes and pulls, so it doesn't get jammed in the steel all the time. At least that's the theory. It does seem to work a little bit better, but it is also more money than it's worth. So we'll just use this saw along here, along the stuff we're trying to save, and then for across there we'll use the air chisel or a grinder, probably a chisel because there's less sparks. Compressor might not be on. So this air saw normally works really good, but I'm in the new shop, which is at the very far back of the property, and right now we just got an air hose run from the front of the shop, of the other shop there. So I think it's struggling to keep the air on the 200-foot air line. The plan is eventually to plumb it with like I guess it's like 3/4 inch, it might be 1/2 inch inside line. Plumb the whole back shop and front shop, and then have the compressor somewhere in between the two. Second layer of steel in there that supports the taillight bracket that keeps, or it is the taillight bracket, and it just broke my blade. So I'm gonna just take the air chisel, go across the bottom and see if that's gonna work, and then I'll get a blade and finish up the other side after. Using a ripper bit for the sheet metal. Chiseling now. Alright, I'll grab another saw blade. This thing's just about ready to come out. I'll take off that other side and then I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, I went and got another saw blade. Get that other side cut off. There's so many little tiny patches in there holding everything together that, I mean, I was trying to be cute with it and take this out in a decent chunk, and then maybe if I ever needed to use something like that, I had it, but that's not going to work, so I'm pretty much just pulling it off and taking the air chisel to it where I can, and then, I mean, these back pieces are so cheap anyways that if you ever really wanted to like, if you ever came across a point where you wanted to use something like this, it just made more sense just to buy the panel anyways. I think it's only like a couple $100, so yeah. So anyways, we'll get this ripped out and then I'll show you what it looks like before I clean it up and then after I clean it up. I'm sure this is awesome for you guys with just an air chisel going non-stop, so I hope you got the volume turned down. Cool. Alright, maybe I'll I may as well take it offline here. Look at the filler in it. Okay, maybe I'll wait. I'll grab my phone and then set my phone up and then I'll show you guys that. Yeah, so all these little patches and stuff like that is kind of stopping it from coming off too nicely. And there's also the taillight brackets in there. There's a little piece of it hanging up there. Yeah, so what I'll do now is I'll just make sure you can see where you can cut some of this away, tin snips, cut away, and I'll take a grinder and grind this extra metal away here. And yeah, I'll take this off. That I gotta reuse. All these little bumper brackets and the tank bracket on the bottom and everything comes on the other pan. I can show you the other pan quick. Yeah, so everything, all the supports are on there already, so like I said, you try and spend too much time being cute with it, and then it takes longer to get done for no real reason. Yeah, so now the plan is to see if I can, where's my hand right there, so I'll cut along the inside of the frame rail just to get in there, and then I'll grind out those bolts and cut on the outside and try and save the wheel wells. I attempted to, this had a quarter put on this side here, so the outer wheel tub has been replaced too. You can see it's got a little bit of a patch in the bottom, so I'll uncover that, see what it looks like. This side over here hasn't had one. Well, when the car was originally done, like whatever it was, 20 years ago, they just patched it in. So I'm wondering when I got the trunk out if I should take all that out too. I mean, I was kind of hoping to avoid doing too much body work further up on the car, but it might be the only way to do it. We'll see what it looks like once the drop downs are in and it's got this filled up. You might be able to seam seal that and have it look all right. I mean, he's not looking for like a show car. He really just wants a driver, but I like to do things a little bit nicer. That way it's done nice and you don't have to redo it. But yeah. Anyways, I'll start cleaning that up and then cut out the middle section so I can get inside there and work, and we'll go from there. Cool. Alright, I moved you in a little bit closer so you can see better, whoever you are. And yeah, so I'm just going to take an air chisel, knock this off, and then I'm going to try and cut out the center there so I can get in there a little bit better. I might just knock that off too. We'll see. The inner tail panel is out of stock, so I'm gonna have to, I'll see if I can save it, and if not I may have to order one from the States, and then that's not that big of a deal. Anyways, here's some more air hammering for you. If anyone wants to buy that trunk pan, I think it's a real good one. It's fiberglass, so I think it's for racing or something like that. Oh, there's a piece over there too. Alright, cool. Well, I'm going to work at cleaning this out, and then I might go bring you back once I get it all ripped out. And we'll go from there. Alright, there's the center of the trunk out of it. So I still got to take out the shocks and the bump stops and stuff like that over there, and the bump stop up there I'll have to take off. But you see how they've got all these bolts in here, so I'll grind those off. Yeah, that's fun. I don't think there's any real point showing you me cleaning it all up, but I'll bring you back for some more awesome air hammer content. I know that's what everyone's looking for. Of course, some of the spots I was hoping would be nice and thin were all plated up and nasty, and the spots that were I was hoping was a little thicker, like up here, of course isn't. So yeah, but yeah, you can see up there, that's where I gotta take the trunk pan to. that seam right. Where's my finger? Right there's the seam goes across. Like I said, that way if they ever want to put a trunk or a floor pan in it, trunk's already right there. All right, we're back. It's a new day. Got a little distracted yesterday, so we're back at trying to get all this extra steel cleaned out. We've got all these bolts. I'm gonna just zip cut them all off, and then get an air chisel underneath it, and peel back that steel. Have to figure out how to save this tub because we're not replacing that, and then yeah, go from there. So probably turn down your volume a little bit because it's gonna get loud. There you go. So that's the way to do it, to start cutting it with the zip cut, and then instead of trying to get right underneath the bolt, just take the air chisel and knock it off afterwards. I know hate's a strong word, but I do not like the guy who decided to do all that. But at least he has 69 Camaro on the road, so I can't really blame him. What's that?
I said, what's on fire out here?
I'm cutting into tar, pretty much.
Fuck, you are taking her apart, eh?
Yeah.
So you're going farther than what you'd planned on?
Well, I was just gonna do the inside here.
Yeah.
But I figured I may as well go to the next pinch weld, and that way,
yeah,
if I ever do the floor, then this is all done properly, and
yeah,
hopefully I can get it squeezed in there. But that'll be the. I might have to. I'm gonna take the back seat out, so I might just have to drop that this little package tray supports and just undo the spot welds, so I can just lift it up a little bit and then slide it under.
Slide,
yeah, that's fun. But they've got it all. They got plates in here all bolted up. You can see it's. So I'm trying to cut all those bolts off. And,
oh, fuck. So it's all patched, eh?
Oh yeah.
But not good.
Yeah. I
mean,
it
was all right. But...
That's what I was just saying. It's like he had a '69 Camaro on the road, so that's all right. But
yeah.
Yeah, it's now the kid. The biggest thing is he wanted to do the tail panel, so it does make sense to cut the tail pan out and put it back in.
Yeah.
And then have
that like that.
Because if you ever want to fix that,
yeah,
you're cutting either frame rails out, or you're probably going to take this out anyways. So
yeah,
just do it. Everything good, and then
yeah.
That's the plan.
Right on.
Yeah.
Lots of work.
Yep. Gotta get some done.
It's nice in here.
Yeah, it's almost too hot. I'm sweating.
Well, you're working, that's why, but
yeah,
it's nice in here.
But we got it warmer than that little furnace got it brought up quite a ways. It said 70 degrees on the back of the little heater there.
Yeah. Oh, that's your little heater you got, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
It works good. And the fireplace, so that will bring it up to temperature, and then the fireplace kind of maintains it for the most part.
Yeah.
So it only kicks on in the morning, it warms up, and then it might kick on a couple times during the day, but not too much. So,
really?
So I'm kind of hoping that like 30 or 40 bucks will kind of get me through the week.
Yeah.
In the diesel, so.
Yeah, fuck. How much was this baby? I like that.
It's 400 bucks.
Ooh.
But that's about what the other one is. It's real quiet too, eh?
70,000 BTUs though.
Yeah, and it's pretty quiet. Like, you know how Dad's
just roars like a jet engine.
Yeah, that thing, it just, you can hear it, but you could stand beside it and talk, no problem. Like,
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I gotta take my truck out and get a tie rod in it.
Oh, yeah. Doing the full rebuild on her now.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, and then it'll quit on me, probably.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah. All right.
Yep, see you later.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think it's gonna be pretty much just more of the same. So it's gonna be chopping and hacking in there, but I'm sure there's only so much of this you can watch. So I'm gonna shut it off for now, get it cleaned out, and then I'll bring it back, or I'll bring it back. I think there's something worth talking about, but most likely I'm just gonna be ripping and tearing. Also, forgot to show you Bondo. She's like, it's like, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch there, then a little over a 1/4 inch here. Actually nice steel. Filming with one hand and working with the other isn't working for me. Look at it's like a little air bubble in the body fill on the back panel of this thing. They just gooped it in there. It's like they didn't even push it in with a slick. There must be steel on the other side of that. It doesn't matter, I'm just procrastinating right now. Holy. That is insane. Oh my god. I'm trying to... So is that back tail pan just made out of filler there? That is wild. That makes me feel a little bit better about, and when someone's got a car driving it on the road and looks pretty good, and I'm convinced them to chop it all up to put the proper panels in and stuff like that, like, it's a little nerve-wracking. But now that I've ripped it apart, I definitely think it's the best decision. And it's wintertime anyways, so he's not going to drive her for a while. Cool. We'll be getting on the Demon soon too. Alright. Not having fun anymore. Let's go. I think I'm just going to hack this tail pan out. That way I can clean out around the frame rails and see everything no problem. And go from there. Of course, this is an old blade, so hopefully it cuts. I don't know.
across there, or are you putting the whole thing in?
I'm gonna try and put the whole thing in. It's just right there.
That's
So.
the seat out.
Yeah, I've already got it mostly out.
I wonder if you should brace this together or something up top.
Yeah, I was thinking that. The only problem is like,
as long as it still gives you enough room to still slide the floor pan.
That's the problem. Trying to get the floor pan in. And like, what do you brace it off of? Unless you're going down to the.
No, you just brace to itself so it doesn't do this or.
Yeah.
I don't know. Once you cut her up even farther, there's not much.
I know.
Actually, I wonder about welding the frame rails across to itself.
Yeah, I could do that, and
the
then
frame
also,
rail.
yeah, like right here.
Yeah.
Turns out the frame rails are a little crusty there, anyways. So. They were pretty thin back in it. Like, they were thinner than the aftermarket ones, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I'm not, like, it definitely has holes. Like, he's already boxed it once, but. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. Because even once I cut out around the wheel wells, then this is just floating with the wheel wells. So
yeah.
I was trying to figure out how to brace that up. Maybe I could go inner tubs down onto the bolt to the wheel nuts or something. Or just get it in real quick.
Or make a cage that goes over it or something. Run a piece of metal between there, then run something out over here and go over the top.
Yeah.
Brace it down to it. That gets a little.
Gets wild.
Do some measurements.
So many numbers.
Plenty of warm in here.
It's not. I'm sweating.
Yeah. Well, you got a sweatshirt on. And
Yeah.
So definitely smoky.
Yep.
Definitely on the smoky.
It's over 60 degrees in here.
Is it?
Yep. Or else that furnace would have kicked on.
Well, what in here?
Sure. Yeah, so anyways, I'll show you what's going on in here, and then I'll get back to it and start cleaning this up. The frame rails are all chewed up on the ends, so I'm gonna. It'd be nice replacing them all, but they got welded frame connectors up front, and there's just comes to a point where the customer is not gonna want to get into that, because then when we get down there, it's like, well, do we do the floor then? And it's just the bill starts going up and up and up. So this is kind of where we're going to stop it. We're going to put half the frame rails in, which is good because the 68 and 69 frame rails are out of stock everywhere, but 67 you can get and I actually have a set for one of my cars, so I'll use it and then order in another set for me. What else? Yeah, anyways, I'll show you what's going on in here, and then Alright, I decided to just record on my phone. It's easier than taking the action camera off the stand. So yeah, so we're gonna replace half the frame rails. I can show you the welded frame connectors why we're not doing all of it. There's also a big crack in the frame here, so we're going to weld that up. You can see it's been there for a while. It's all rusted on the edge of it. Yeah, this heavy duty shock mount needs to come out still. This little filler piece that's attached to the trunk pan. And then this right here is the seam that we're going to. So this piece up here will come out right here. That shock tower too. Whatever you want to call it. Oh, I still got to get this drop down out too. I was hoping on saving the inner tubs. This one here has been, I think I've already talked about this, but it's been patched in there. So part of me wants to cut it out, but then I also don't want to get into a big job on the quarters, even though I might be doing the bottom of the backs of the quarters anyways. So who knows? Like I said, just trying to keep it under control for the customer. It's just a driver for him. He doesn't want no show car, but he does want it to be solid. So that's what we're aiming for. Anyways, I'm gonna take a break. No, let me show you the frame connectors. Yeah, so there's the frame connectors all welded into the bottom of the frame rails, which is up there. Yeah, so we're not going down there. But nice car. Really nice car. I'd love to have something like this. It's too big. The interior's all new on it. Dusty from me, but alright, now I'm gonna take a break and I'll let you know when I get back at it. Yeah, I'm not really too sure why I'm recording stuff like that, but I just figured share some of my work and maybe it'll lead to meeting some people with similar interests or help some people out online, or maybe it'll book a few more jobs. I just in a new space with a bit more room, so I'd like to get one of my own cars in and start working on it. I don't have any of my own cars on the road, but I can keep recording the customer work as well. I got a 71 Demon over here, and then I got a 73 Challenger that's going to be coming in. It's a pretty big build. So hopefully this Camaro doesn't snowball into something too huge. It seems like we got it under control, but yeah, I just figured I'd post some stuff and I don't know, see what happens. I mean, best case scenario, worst case scenario, even if I get to meet just a handful of people and share my work kind of thing, it's kind of nice. You work in a shop on your own and the customer sees the work, but it'd be neat to kind of have some other eyes on it. I'd also like to do some just like shop talk kind of thing, like talk about some tools or how I'm heating and stuff like that. Not so much just the constantly ripping and tearing into rusty cars, but there'll be lots of that because that's the majority of what I do. All right, I got most of the metal out of the trunk, and I should finish up the last little bit, but I'm just gonna leave it for now because I got a wife and a baby at home, so I'm gonna go home and see them, and we'll get it cleaned up tomorrow and fit up. I might just post this as a video, and then we'll do dropping the trunk pan in, fitting it up, and welding it up for another video, because it's going to be getting into a fairly long video. But I'll show you what it looks like, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Oh, and make sure you like and subscribe. Mostly subscribe is what I really care about, but I guess like helps other people see it too. So if you like this kind of stuff, oh, there's the Demon too in the background. All right, so this is just that last little bit of metal I got to get off. It might not be a bad idea that these are still attached for the night anyways. I got a little post going up to from the ground up to behind there just to stop it from sagging. I don't know if it's doing too much, but makes me feel better. Yeah, so that's all. I gotta clean up a couple little tiny pieces. I'll grind this all up and get rid of pieces like that. And then I might have to weld a little bit on there, or maybe if I can weld and then I can seam seal, and well, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, down there, that strip of metal, and then this thing here. I panicked for a second thinking that was a part of the frame rail after I already had it cut in half, but it is just the shock support. So yeah, anyways, yeah, like, subscribe, comment, and let me know what you got. Let me know what I'm doing wrong, and we'll see you in the next video. Hopefully I get another one done fairly soon. I'll try and pump a few out and try and get a little bit of steam rolling, and then yeah. All right, have a good night or day, whatever time of day it is you're watching this. See you later.